Well, hello and welcome to today's show. Today we're going to test some premises wiring we just put in. And we'll talk about it, I guess, right after we roll the title. Alrighty now. So we just about added 3 complete rolls, 3 complete spools of UDP Cat6A. Not the plenum rated, although your codes may require you to. This is just riser rated. And the riser wire, we'll talk about the difference in plenum and riser wire later on. But anyway, we've run just about 1,500 feet of that. By the time I get the last 2 most difficult runs, which is going to require cutting some sheetrock out and patching back like we had to do in the master bedroom because of structural issues and completeness. Yeah, we're putting them off until springtime or until I can recover and get in a little better shape. It's just difficult. You know, I've got some blown disc and some other problems and shoulders are shot. Anyway, some of it is old age. Some of it's having been run over. So, yeah, we're just going to wait on those. But I do have enough of it up and in that we tested some pot lines, some plain old telephone. We've tested, we of course have a couple of dual runs to a couple of different locations. That eats up a lot of wire. And of course, that's phase 2 where we got ready for the versatility of a POE 24/7 camera system in the house. So I'm at a stage where first segment I'm going to show you is I'm just starting testing. I found an error. I'm going to show you how I tested. I had to make up a little tool. Got an error in that, but I'm having to isolate that. We'll go through the logic of that because I don't see that they teach a lot of troubleshooting logic to people where we process of elimination go down this branch or that branch. So I'm going to show you that. First video is fixing that, and then I'll show you the rest of it, which goes pretty quick after the first bit. Well, we're going to do a little testing, see how it works out. And I have a little tester that came with the kit we bought. And what we do is we check our patch cable first. So we take the gray, or what do you want to call that, from the 2 ends and run it. We take the blue and we check it, see if it works, and we see how that does. Now because I have a loop, I'm running 2 lines. I'm running it from here through the white, back through the black. Let's try to see if that runs good. I've got a demo set up. If I put it over on the slow mode, we'll see we go 1 is 1, 2 is 2, 3 is 3, 4 is 4, 5 is 4, and we've got them reversed there. Do you see that? There's something screwed up in it. Now let's go to the blue set to see if it's between the blue and the black. Now I have it set between the white and the blue because we saw a 4 and 5 switch on the black and the white. Let's see if we're switching when we go down here. Because it could be in my little 3 pigtail I made up. I am very old and I can't see very good. 4 and 5 are switched here. So either I have it switched in the white, RJ right there, the jack, or I don't. Let's go ahead and see if it's in this end or that end. And we're going to do that by moving the white to the black so that we're doing the blue and black pair. And if it's reversed, that'll give us a good idea where. So I have the blue and the black, and I'm checking the length that goes from here to there and there to back. And let's see how we're doing here. All right. Remember, it's 4 and 5 is switched either in my pigtail on that end. 4 is fine, 5 is fine. So either I have it switched here on this one, or on the white on the other end, or in the pigtail itself, which we'll check. Now here's my little homemade pigtail. It's just all of the wires color matched together. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this in between the white and blue, I guess would work. Either one will work, since we know black to blue works there and back. And we know that black to white doesn't work with 4 and 5, and blue to white doesn't work with 4 and 5. So we're going to jump across with this, which we know is good, between the white and either one of those that we know is a good clear path, and we'll see if it's in that path, in the pigtail or in the other, because if it still exists, it's in one end or the other between the whites. Does that make sense? Because if the blue cable is good, we eliminate, if the problem is in my little 3 pigtail, which it could be, because it's really hard for me to see with my cataracts and the old eyes and the AMD or whatever else I'm failing with age, to know whether or not I got all the colors in the right spot. So there's a good chance that it's in the little pigtail. All right, let's see if it works. Remember, we had 4 and 5 switch, and if it's either in either white RJ, we should know it pretty quick. 4 and 4 is fine. So that means I made a mistake in my pigtail, and I'm going to guess, my little test pigtail, I switched it on the connector end. We'll find out. And I apologize for the moving, but you see the problem? We have the black, which we know is correct, because we've got the blue and the blue and the white are in those 2 positions, and we've got them reversed on the gray side. So that's my mistake. It's in the small stuff right here, and it would help if I could see a little bit better. So I got to say, this particular tool and this new technique of pulling the wires through, I already had a good high quality tool, but I thought I'm getting where I can't see. I got the Cadillacs. I got the Cadillacs in the eye and probably a little AMD. I got spotless glaucomas. It's just hard for me to see with my presbyopia. That's old people eyes. My inability to really focus at different distances. It's just hard for me to see to make up these ends, particularly on the jack ends versus the socket ends of the RJ45, RJ25. So in the house, I make them all up I make them all up for the A series, which is like we did in the old telephone lines, because that puts my orange and blue pair together. But I make some up as B2 because that's what internet people use. So anyway, if you're just copying a cable, you can find that data out there. But it's just really easy that when you get them all perfect, like your fingers, and you're putting those lines into the little plastic piece, that they'll twist on you. And if you're not real careful, if your eyes aren't really super good, you'll miss one. And I got one twisted. The tool from this company, Zoerax, is pretty well much hot garbage. It looks really cute. Demonstration online looks really cute. It looks like it'd be easy way. I spent $30, $50, whatever it was, and bought it. They've since offered me a complete refund, but I don't want to take advantage of it. It's just garbage. It just doesn't crimp correctly. I have probably, out of making 4 patch cables, I'll have 1 bad end that I have to cut off and put a new one on. It doesn't crimp right. It trims the wires, but it doesn't crimp right, and I still have to go back and use my other tool, which doesn't really work well for the type of ends that we pass through, and I just got 100 of them come in. Well, I bought this kit, and this is not a plug for them. I bought off Amazon, whoever that is, made up name looks like, and it just had a couple of things, including a little tester. It also had a little different crimper. Now, I have a professional tool here I've had for 20 years or more. It's a good crimper, but it uses the old style, and they have something new, which I thought might be worth trying. See how the wires pass all the way through the end? They're not hollowed out. Let's see if I can get it up here. All right, see, they come out the end. And from this, we can see the color pattern a little bit better. But it's still difficult to do when you're as old as I am and can't see good. I thought it might be worth the effort trying these versus the closed end type, the standard type. And I guess they work okay. You got to have this special crimper. And we had this come in the kit. But yeah, as you can see, we've got our... If you like this content, please go to calldeltosell.com, find the tab that says on YouTube, click it, and it'll open up a page of QR codes. There you can use a smartphone to scan and get to the YouTube page, or you can just mouse over and click it on a PC. There you'll be able to subscribe to this little button over here and click the notification bell so that YouTube will notify you. Thank you. Have this special crimper. and we had this come in the kit. But yeah, as you can see, we've got our whites. The way it's done, there's always going to be a white stripe to the left, with the exception of the pairs. They're done normally because we split like an old telephone system. We always had the center two were always the ring and tip, and then we had the line 2 on the other side of it, and then we went from there. So we've got an orange pair, then the green pair split with its white on the left, and then the blue pair to keep the white every other one, white stripe every other one. We had to switch it, and then the odd green, and then the brown pair. So taking it from this side, you can see it a little bit better. See if we can see it on the one we haven't crimped yet. See here, this one is a different cable manufacturer, so you can really see the white every other one. It's just that we switch the blue and the white and the blue, flip them around so that we maintain that same pattern. All right, so there we have that, and I think this is this a cable I made up, or is this one? I don't know. Anyway, it may have just been a piece of cable I cut, but we're going to go ahead and put this down and retest. Well, I hate that one is too short now, but I'm not going to make up the 2 black wires just to make them pretty. Well, let's see if it works. We are in blue and white, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8. Okay, so now there we are. We're in with the white and blue. Let's move it from the white. Check the other line. And let's see, because we knew that all the rest of the wires were fine. It was just the 4 and 5 were switched. We've identified the problem. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Okay, so we're good to go. Now we'll just do the other 3 corners. 1 corner, 2 corner. Let me pull this out. All right, so there we have it. We got right into the house, 3 in each corner. Left in the house, 3 in each corner. And of course, this process still works for any place that we have 2 jacks together. Over the garage, we have 2 of them. This is room, but they're not together, so I can't do it because they're across the room. It looks like they're together. They are in the same room, but they're not in the same jack. Like over here on this one, the Beast, this is in the same wall plate. These 2 are in the same wall plate. So for those, it's just a way to send it there and back, which I could do with a normal patch cable. But, you know, in the ones where I had the 3, the idea was not to have to do all that crawling around. Now, you may ask, why did I do the pigtail thing and do 2 drops in place? Well, 2 drops in place are just simply handy in case I really need some more wire there in the future that I don't have now, because it's better to have it, not need it, than need it, not have it. So we went and did that, and it allows for us to do this loop back thing. But for singles, this thing comes off like this, right? And there's just not a way to know if you're crossing a line like I demonstrated earlier, unless you have a buddy in the house that's helping you, and you can say, number 1, 2, 3, and they can tell you that way. Now in this case, I have this set for over the master. That is a single one on that end. There are 2 extra plus the Beast that were installed. So this is black. I'm in the black, and then the blue. The blue is on the near side of the room, and you can see we're clicking down through. Now if you have them separate and don't have a buddy, you can simply wait for a full cycle. This does do a faster one. Let's go look over there at the other end. All right, with the light on, you can't really see unless I get the glare off of it. You can see it counting down, and this does work the 2-man way with the 1 man. In both places, just do it 2 ways. So we know what we've got going on. It's good. Now, what I have here in this part, this is the upper studio. We have a TV, and then, of course, we had a telephone, because back in the day, it was always a good idea to have a telephone next to your cable, because if you had a satellite cable TV, had satellite like Dish or whatever the other one is, direct, it required a telephone to do any of the pay-for stuff. So it would have to reconcile that, or you'd have to go online and do it ahead of time. So what we've done in the house in most places, we've done color coding, black and blue for internet. And if you happen to see a white by itself, unless there's a 3rd one there, you could assume it's telephone, and we'll check it. Now I'll actually put a pot print a little label and say pot on the ones if there's any question, because in the garage over the door there, right where it sits, there's a TV that no longer exists. And I thought, well, so much of these TVs are smart TVs that do streaming, we'll do it that way. We'll put an Ethernet at each of the TV locations if I can get it there easily. All right, we're testing the feed from the second floor security room down to the main room downstairs below. Simulating the NVR is an old laptop. Let's go look. And there our screen is. Now, we don't have video playing because I'm old and I'm slow, but the little trailer would normally be running. And unfortunately, the way that this very old TV works is it doesn't know the difference. So when it forecasts or when it casts into whatever this less than full HD, this is HD actually, that old laptop is, that's what we get. Now I got a camera, we'll put it up next. And there we have a feed from the camera, and you can see, because it looks like a camera display. Yeah, there it is. It's a little dark in that corner. This old TV has been dying for a while, and I fixed it once and got about 6 or 8 more years out of it, but it's not perfect and it's dated. Anyway, that's a look inside of the room, and you can see it's a live feed. There we go. That's it. And again, you'll have to excuse the workbench, but to test the phone lines, the POTs, the plain old telephones, I just use an old plain old telephone. All right. Well, that's the show. I got to tell you, I am running as fast as the marathon guy in ancient Greece trying to outrun time. And, you know, I'm running faster and faster and moving slower and slower as I'm trying to outrun the sands of time. And it's just getting where I don't know how much more of this I'm going to be able to do. And we got a lot of stuff to do around the house. It wasn't in my retirement plan to start paying people because they want redonkulous amount of money to do little jobs. And the smaller the job, the more they charge for it, because you're paying for the job, the day, not necessarily the material. So bigger jobs are actually a little bit cheaper. You know, new construction is a little bit cheaper than remodeling. It generally is. The difference you have if you buy an older, previously loved home is you get to choose how you want to update it, providing you pass codes when codes are required. So click like and subscribe. You want to support the channel, buy some coffee. At least you get something for it. And you may be able to tell me that you don't like what I like in coffee, because I sell the coffees I like. I can't tell what anybody else likes. I just know what I like. So buy some coffee. Do the click, like, and subscribe on all the medias. Comments when you can, especially if this has been helpful in any way to you, because there's a lot of information out there on YouTube and Rumble and places where these channels exist. So if I've helped you anyway, let me know. If you don't want to buy some coffee, at least drop me a comment or something like that. Share me around, hit the notification bell so you see when stuff comes up. Appreciate you. We'll see you on the next video.